Alright guys, the interior is coming together. We have our kill switch working, all of our wiring is installed and good to go. Our switch panel works, still working on my gauge cluster there. I gotta figure that whole thing out. But other than that, the interior is ready to go. The engine mechanically is all set up. We have all the wiring done, all of the stuff fabricated, everything needs to be installed is installed. The only thing I haven't done yet obviously is my exhaust. I have my headers going down to open down pipes down there. But other than that, everything mechanically is good to go in the engine bay. The last thing I have to fabricate for this car to get it to actually drive is the transmission mount. So I went today to my local metal supply store and picked up some tube. These were cut remnants. So this is, I think it's like, I'll take measurements, but it's a pretty good size. It should be strong enough for my transmission mount, so I'm gonna get this installed today. So the plan for the transmission mount here was to make it very simple to fabricate, simple to install, and simple to remove, and not have to weld anything. So my plan that I've come up with after quite a bit of thinking is to take some of this steel tube, cut it down, you know, basically mount it like this. I'm going to drill a hole here and a hole here so I can bolt it on this side up to that like that. And then I'm going to cut or drill two holes on this side and have another piece basically go across to an identical piece on that side. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to drill two holes in here and just use bolts to bolt everything together. And hopefully that will be a nice, strong, easy solution that will be weld-free and easy to maintain. So hopefully anybody out there can make the same thing I'm about to make. Alright, so I made my cardboard templates the same width as my metal tubes. Now I got to figure out how to get this guy hooked up. Well, I got to find bolts that fit this guy, but that is center, which means my transmission is way to the passenger side right now. But I can still use this as an approximation to get my holes figured out to mount onto my steel tube. Alright, I got my templates, I got my metal, and I'm really hoping this stuff works. Alright, cutting done. Now it's time to drill. We've got our two end pieces and our cross piece. Looks pretty good. Alright, so it pretty much sits just like this. All the pieces are cut out. Now I gotta drill some holes. All my templates match in size at least, like that. And then I have my main one on top here. So now hopefully I can just drill holes exactly where I made them in my template, bolt it all together, and bolt it to the car. With any luck, this goes really, really well. Alright, so now we have both sides done, so we gotta get our cross piece in here, make sure that it is the correct length and everything, which it is, thankfully. So I'm gonna get my template again and see if this all lines up. I'll mark my holes, and we should be good. I just transferred my pattern onto my steel, and I think it all lines up. I took measurements, so I'm gonna go ahead and drill some holes and hope that it works out. There we have it all bolted up. The transmission is not bolted to the cross member yet. It's a little bit to the passenger side, as you can see, by about a ½ inch. So I gotta slide the whole transmission to the driver's side, about that ½ inch, then I can get it bolted up. And then I'll bring out my driveline finder app, make sure that that all works out well, and then I can take it all apart and paint it and then reinstall it for the final time. Looks so good. So it's all mounted up and it is completely centered and it's looking really good. I'm really happy with how this thing turned out. Last thing I need to do is drill two more holes here and one this side, just for extra bracing, and then that should be done. I'll paint it and then reinstall it, and then that's the last thing I need to fab for the car. all the way through. Ooh, that's hot. Oh yeah, super hot. Oh. Drilling up, not the easiest thing to do. So last up here, I'm going to use some acetone to clean off all of the dirt and varnish and stuff before putting on my self-etching primer and then painting it. I put little dots on the top of each piece so I knew what was up and forward. See those little dots right there, and then I put a D and a P on the top side of these so I know which one is driver's side and passenger side, so it shouldn't be too confusing. Alright, I did 2 coats of primer and 2 coats of paint. That's about as good as we're going to get. Needs a little touch-up work here and there, but it's going to get dinged up under the car anyway. As long as it won't rust, that's all that really matters to me. Alright guys, there we have the final product. We have the transmission centered exactly in the tunnel. All the bolts I had lying around my garage and they fit. And then the metal itself cost about, I don't know, like $6.30 or whatever from my local metal supply company. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. It's nice and sturdy and should be a good mount. So here's the mount from the front. And you can see there's plenty of room on the passenger side here to fit like a 4-inch exhaust through probably. But on the driver's side, there's quite a bit less room because the actual frame rail or like the unibody is shaped differently. So I've got to figure out the best way to route my exhaust piping, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. Well guys, there's the mount all finished up. I think I did a pretty good job considering I hadn't done it before. I spent less than $7 on all of the metal. So overall, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Next episode, we'll be working on my wiring a bit more. I have to give my window switches here. I'm out of breath. I already shipped off all of the extra wires I don't need off of my door, and I have the window wire right here, window motor wiring right here, and I'm not going to be putting in Lexan for a while, so I'm going to keep the glass and wire up my motors here to some switches on the dash panel. And for a sneak peek, here's what I have working for my gauges, which I'm pretty excited about, so this will be next episode as well. So thanks for watching guys, stay tuned for more Fully Spooled. Maybe throw a like, subscribe, I'll see you guys next time.